Good morning, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought, number 1137, California time, 5:12 a.m. Sorry, 5:10. Should have been 5:10. Anyway, today is February 12th, 2024. And I want to say it's a very special day because it's actually Lincoln's birthday. What Lincoln's birthday was about was the fact that he was the first president that was in office during the time of the Emancipation Proclamation, which illegally let out all the slaves from slavery in the United States. And he wound up having to stand in office when people were debating whether he was the guy that saved everybody or whether he was just happening to be the president at the time. He was born on February 12th, 1809, in a single room log cabin. The place he was born was LaRue County, Kentucky. And he wound up saying in history, they say things, all kinds of things about him. Anyway, he was in a log cabin. What else was there? In the old days, we used to celebrate Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday, which both happened to fall in February. And then came along the Iran-Contra story. It's not just a story. There were 70 hostages that were 70 some hostages that were in Iran at the time that the United States was trying to get back and couldn't get back. And then President Carter, finally on the day of his leaving office during the inauguration of President Reagan, of Ronald Reagan, he went to Iran. Carter went to Iran, and that was the first time a president of the United States was not present for the inauguration of his successor. And the time that this happened more recently was only the second time in U.S. history that a sitting president leaving office was not present for the time of the inauguration of the following president. And anyway, we know that Barack Obama had to say his oath of office twice because there was some word that was missed or something in the inauguration date swearing in oath. And the other thing I wanted to say is that in February, when Carter managed to get the hostages home on that inauguration day of President Reagan, Carter was named, we needed a holiday for him. And because he was the third president to be named to have a holiday proposed to be after him, they decided to concatenate the two holidays in February for Lincoln and Washington and call it President's Day. So it doesn't celebrate all the presidents, it's only for the four, the Lincoln, Washington, Carter, and Obama. And those are the four presidents that we are celebrating next Monday on February 19th. So that's what I wanted to say for today. It is Monday. This is my miscellaneous Monday. Often I do the, honest to God, I decided to do the Lincoln part before I misplaced the book. Here. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know all that. And we, in U.S. history, we have to be patriotic to our flag and our Constitution. Our Constitution, the preamble, the amendments, the Bill of Rights, everything we have, it's being almost disregarded and pushed aside. Now, what I should have done was have all of these things out here to read to you today. The Declaration of Independence, our Constitution, our preamble, our amendments, the Emancipation Proclamation, what was the other thing? after the Emancipation Proclamation. The Juneteenth was more than a year after the Emancipation Proclamation, because a lot of people weren't being told that they were now freed slaves. Of course, people kind of ripping people off, saying, "Ha ha ha! I'm not going to tell you that you can go free now," and that goes for a long time. Well, that's human nature. Don't say it's this against that. It's human nature. We are all trying to get ahead of somebody else, and it's a little bit of competition like children do. But when we grow up, when we become virtuous, we start to think about the other person's profit too. We start to think about, how can I help this person? I'm going for a win-win. That's what Herb Cohen, Coahen, talks about in a book titled "You Can Negotiate Anything." He says this is something called a win-win, not a win-lose. A win-win means, okay, if I'm a car dealer and I want to sell you a car, I want to make at least a couple of $100 on the profit of the car because I've had it in my lot for 2 days. And as a customer, you want to say, I want to get it at cost plus your overhead. That's it. That's it. And maybe a 15% of overhead profit. So if you negotiate that way, everybody has disclosure. And disclosure is interesting. I had a friend once tell me, and I never understood why, but I believe it. It is that people's salaries shouldn't be secret either. People ought to be able to, there will be people who are always disgruntled. Why does she get more than I do and all that? But that's normal politics, and politics are part of human nature. In fact, politics are part of cat nature. Politics are part of nature itself. Dogs know whom to be nice to. Cats know whom to be nice to. And when they have, horses have a pecking order. If there's a trough, the horses know what order they come in. It's a pecking order where the first horse, the dominant horse, gets the first part right near where the meal is poured out. And then the subsequent horses are all in their order. It's interesting. And then, yes, there were going to be a little scuffles here and there about who's next in the order. And then they eventually settle themselves out, or somebody else decides for them. And that's what I do with my cats. I have cats that fight a little with each other because two of them look identical. I swear. Just 5 minutes before this live, Dea was looking at me putting on some lipstick, and she was staring at this. And I said, Esri, you sure are acting like Dea. And I was looking up at Esri sitting on the top of the cabinets, just like Dea usually sits. And I was thinking, Dea sure as heck is sitting kind of funny right now. And it turned out I had them swapped. I had them swapped around. So think about your neighbor's profit. This is from Yenxing Life Science Technology. Of course, it's the pre-members prerequisites of learning how to become a virtuous person. Think about your neighbor's profit before you think about your own. Like, what can I make sure that they get so that I can get? And even the "so that" is not necessarily those words. It's probably more like, okay, how can I help them? And that is interesting. Look at Japan, look at Korea, look at China. People who are from East Asia like me know that people fight over things in China with each other. And in Japan, there's a true difference. Japan is wealthy technologically by comparison to the two other major East Asian countries that I'm mentioning. And the reason is that at core, Japanese people are always trying to help each other. And by helping each other, they create a win-win. And look at how fast they came into the Western world. They've been in the Western world all along with everybody else. Japan is the country in East Asia, even the furthest east one, that is considered part of the Western world. Think about it this way. If you try to help each other, you're actually both going to get ahead. So think about it like that. So anyway, today was Lincoln's birthday. Oh, I see somebody's watching. Good to see you. Anyway, good morning to John Clark, Marty Blue. This was Kantara, and gosh, John Jones, and who else? I saw the other day that they put, oh gosh, everybody, thank you for coming. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, old Kinderhook.